sky. Up so high, my oh my, how this voice will up so high, we're all united. In the rain, my angel came. In the rain, my angel came. In the rain, my angel came. Oh, wow. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Welcome to another Monday, y'all. Florida's own Barry S. McLeod. Truly the right kind of different. How y'all doing today? For those of you who don't know, I had a blast this weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina, man. I had to go up there and hang out with my shipmates from the USS Nimitz. 47 years. 47 years. We all of us probably thought we'd never see each other again. 47 years. It was really, really special because 47 years, who knows? We probably don't have 47 more years. So, we got it in that time and it was pretty, pretty special, man. So I had to just share a little bit of information with you. And I'm on 3 devices. My Instagram device, I don't have the picture up of the 3 of us, but I do have it on my Facebook page and my YouTube page. And I wanted to introduce these guys to you. Now, if you're looking at that picture, the guy in the middle is the birthday guy. That's Harper Latin. It was his birthday. They were also having his family reunion. And so he had a really, really special weekend. The guy on the opposite side of me, that's Tractor Jack. And he's from Chicago. And, oh, man, these guys are like really, really so very special to me. And they were quite an influence on my life because when I met them, I was 18 years old. And they're probably like, I think, 3 years older than me. So when I went into the service aboard the Nimitz, they had already been there at least a couple of years. So, excuse me, a lot of times as younger guys, we look at the older guys who are already there and we learn from them and we kind of look up to them. Well, these guys really kind of helped shape my journey from the time I met them because they were, first of all, they were just some really cool guys. And they taught me a lot of the ropes about, being in that situation. They had already been there, had learned some things. And so here I am now. I'm hanging out with them and I'm learning some things through them. And but together, we and several other guys that was in our group, Gidney, Boo Boo, another Jackson, out of Jacksonville, Ray Bates. For me and Ray, we were like this, and it was just it was a good little group of us. But that little core group with those names I call and several other names, and I won't get into that. But these guys right here, man, these guys, they, when it came down to going on Liberty and going out to the clubs and the bars and whatever and partying, it was these guys that I was hanging out with. They had already been on a tour. And so my first rodeo, I'm learning some of the spots from these guys. Man, we did some things. On the ship, one of the things we was laughing about it, talking about it this past weekend. Like when you on the ship, the captain would come on the loudspeaker and talk to the whole crew, everybody on the ship. He would say, tell us, say, now when you get off the ship and you go onto the streets, this was particularly in Naples, Italy. He said, you're going to see in the middle of the street a yellow line. You're automatically on one side of that line. Do not go on the other side of the line. Don't cross the line. Well, not just us, but probably every sailor. The first thing we did was cross the line. We wanted to see what was going on, And man, did we have some fun doing some stuff, learning about some of that stuff that was going on. It was a lot of fun. Everything wasn't fun. There was some danger sometimes, but we stuck together. We was experiencing a lot of racism. A lot of the white sailors on the ship, a lot of the higher ranking officers and stuff aboard the ship. We experienced a lot of racism. And the thing about being out there in the middle of that ocean, you have to conform. It's too much water to drink, too far to swim, and you got some sharks and all kind of other stuff out there in that ocean. So, they get us out there in the middle of the ocean, and yeah, we had to conform, man. We had to learn it. So these guys having already been there, and they was hipping me to how the game go, and it wasn't no easy route for me, especially in my younger ages. I had a few situations, but it was also these guys that was in my ear, and talking to me and saying, "Hey, Mac, look at, man, you got to handle it like this and this and that." But so these guys became special to us, and because of that racism and stuff that we was dealing with, we had to stick together. We had to be a lot more stronger and have each other's back. So when you're in that kind of situation, that you establish a camaraderie that it lasts a lifetime. And I was thinking, and I was actually telling Tractor Jack, I said, man, I learned how to play cards really from him. Tractor Jack is one of the best card players. Now he's a master poker player too. I'm not a poker player, but I learned how to really play cards really well from playing with these guys, especially Tractor Jack. Tonk, whist, bid whist, spades. Those were the main games that we played. When you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't have nothing else to do. You don't have no regular television and stuff like that. So we had to entertain ourselves. And man, when we played cards, man, we clown, we talk trash. I remember when I got out of the military and met some more people and started playing cards. I can remember when some of the regulars who we played cards together, I was used to playing with these guys right here, and we talk trash. I can't use the language right now that we use, and it was every day for us, and y'all probably heard the phrase "cuss like a sailor." Well, that's what we did. And every sailor, white, black, Asian, Latino, everybody, 98 to 99% of all of us, every 3 to 4, 5 words was a cuss word. That was our life. That was our atmosphere. That's what time it was. So it was nothing unusual for us. So when I got out, man, it's been still some time for me. I still have to catch myself because it's still in me. But I can remember when I started playing cards with some people when I got out, and I was used to playing with these guys, and we slammed the table, and we was doing all this, and I started playing with some other people. They didn't do it like that. That was so awkward for me. And like the thing for us when we played cards, it was like if you hit the table a certain kind of way, that is a clue, right, to your partner. But it was very intellectual because, you had to know if that meant I got something or I'm faking. So it was really a very smart art form that we was doing. And I started playing cards with people in the civilian world. And to them, that's like cheating. And, you know, some people get upset about that. But that's what I was used to, because we could slam the table and say, and be totally bluffing. And you have to have good instincts to be able to figure that out. And so I really enjoy playing that way. And the thing about it now, Jack, get back to Jack. Jack was such a good card player that when I watched him for a while, I always wanted to be his partner. And I was his partner many times. But the thing about Jack, you better know how to play. You can't make a dumb move, because Jack would turn on you and cuss you slap out, you know, and be mad about it. I mean, you know, and so that kind of thing right there, it made me and some of the other guys better, you know, card players, because we didn't want to deal with Jack like that. Jack didn't play, you know. He was a good soul, but Jack was a professional card player, and he didn't believe in mistakes. And so it's amazing how we had so much fun with that. Now the guy in the middle of the birthday guy, Latin was crazy. Latin used to, when he had a bomb hand or something like that, Latin jump on top of the table. Boy, look, we used to have so much fun. And after 47 years, you know, I had forgot about some of that. You know, it's not present in mind. And when Latin came out for his birthday party, you know, he had 3 different outfits. He changed twice. And the first time he came out with a really nice African outfit on, and African hat and everything. It was really classy and everything. Then he turns around, he goes and he changes, and he comes out with this big wig on, this blazer, dressed like Don Cornelius with the bow tie and everything. And he was like co-emceeing his birthday party. His daughter did an amazing job, really emceeing the whole event. And he came out and he did that. Then he turned around, he left, and he came back again with the candy cane outfit on. And just watching him made me remember how lively and fun he was back on the ship. Like I say, 47 years. We haven't thought about any of this in so long. I mean, to see that again, it was, and that personality in him again, it was like, it was really, really cool. And then me and Jack, we got a chance to, we caught us a lift, went downtown, and got some lunch, caught up and talked. Man, it was really, really nice. We rode through Charlotte. I've never been to downtown Charlotte before that I can recall. I know I've been through Charlotte a couple of times traveling, but I never went downtown. So we went down there, and it was just a really, really fun and special time that I had with them guys. It brought back so many memories, and we were sharing so many stories. And I asked them, I said, man, do y'all remember when we went to Naples, Italy, and they would offer us some excursions sometimes, and we took an excursion to Livorno, Italy. That's where the Leaning Tower of Pizza is. And so I remember we went there, we went up to the top of the tower, and we were taking pictures and stuff like that. And then when we left, we was ready to get our head right. And so I think they told me they were not with me on that one. I thought one of them was. I thought Jack was, but he didn't remember. But it was probably after he had gotten out and gone home. But we were, man, we saw these guys, and we were like, hey man, we need to get something, man. And so they sold us a little something. And so we over there firing up in our little huddle, and out of nowhere, there's about a dozen polices surrounded us. And we got busted. And it was just it wasn't funny in the moment, but when you look back, it was funny. The beautiful thing about it was we actually didn't go to jail. You know, I had already shared the story with y'all in a previous live that I did when we went to Spain, and I got my behind beat down. Talk about beat down. You know, I got double teamed by probably about at least 8 or 10 guys. They didn't hurt me, but they got the best of me. You know, I was by myself. But we were sharing all of those kind of stories, and we were sharing stories about how things we did on the ship that was slick. Hey, you know, everybody, it don't matter who it was, we was always, everybody was trying to find something slick, some kind of way to slick something slick, you know. And we were doing a whole lot of skating and stuff like that. I would eventually leave the department that we were in and go to another department, and that's where I really began working as a barber. Before then, I was working on the flight deck with them, with all the aircraft and stuff like that. Man, I hated it. I hated it. I remember when I first went in, you know, uh, coming from where I come from, you know, I had never been exposed to something like that. And man, I got on that ship and them jets was taking off, helicopters, different kind of jets, and oh man, and just the fascination of seeing how it was happening. And I remember just as well right now, um, the 3 hours. I remember first hour was like, wow, 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 wow. The next hour, I was like, ooh, okay, all right. And when we got to that third hour, I was like, man, there's enough of this right here. I don't want no more of this, you know. But but man, that was we talked about so many different things like that that especially me and Jack, man, we just reminisced on a lot of things, man, and talked about some of the dangerous stuff that happened, and um, some of the fun stuff that happened. And it was just really, really cool serving with these guys. I bought my bass guitar, this baby right here. This is my first bass guitar. I bought this bass while I was serving. I bought it in Norfolk, Virginia. And this is where I first learned how to play the bass, man. And I, this, as you can see, it's still in tip-top shape. I bought this bass in 1978. And I got in my first band when I bought this bass. It was some other shipmates, and they were pretty much rock and roll guys. It was white guys at first, and that I started jamming with and learning how to play. There was this guy named Commit. He was a white guy. He was really into rock and roll and stuff, and he taught me the boogie woogie blues line and stuff like that. And I would eventually end up, when I got out, that was so valuable to me when I started playing with some real musicians and stuff like that. And but this bass right here, it still plays. Um, um, I got so many hours in on this bass, but I learned how to play on the ship. And those guys that you see on the picture, Jack was telling me, he said, man, man, when we were on the ship, I remember you did this and I remember you did that, but I had no idea, man, you could do all of this and do all of that. I said, Jack, back then, man, I'm 17, 18, 19 years old. All of this stuff I'm doing now, I had no idea that it was in me. You know, it was just one of them things, man, that I grew. I grew. The talent was in me, and I figured it out. I grew. But I I started playing bass on the ship, and eventually I met some brothers who played. It was, um, um, we started playing some R&B stuff. When I met them and started playing with them, that's when the Floaters came out, the song Float On. Some of y'all don't know nothing about that. You might have to be a little old school to know about that. But I remember we played Float On, and we had some guys who up there singing, and that's when I was really figuring out some things on the bass, that really helped me out when I got out, and started playing. And in fact, I'm still jamming now, and and putting a band together now for some special reasons I share with y'all a little bit later. But just hanging out with my shipmates in the way that I did. Um, Somebody say play something up. It's not it's not plugged up, but I'm working on that. Y'all gotta learn that. If you don't know that song, Glide. Woo, you talking about a funky bass line. You can't hear it too much like this because I don't have it plugged into the amp. But um, I'm gonna I'm putting another band together right now, y'all, um, and I'll be doing something next month. And for those of you who are not local to me, I'm gonna live it so y'all can be a part of that fun of that event I'm gonna be doing. Um, but the focus today is I wanted to highlight my shipmates, just in case Latin, you and Jack are watching this live. I sent Ray, I sent Bates, and I sent Boo Boo the um, I sent them this picture that I'm showing everybody, and Boo Boo called me, and he was excited. Clyde Stevens, he touched in. He even made a comment. I think Latin. He says he's gonna be up your way sometime in the near future, and he's gonna be looking you up. Um, but man, that was just really really special, and some of the other shipmates who were not able to be there. Um, we each one of us have reached out to some of them, and they just been so excited and elated to see that we did do that. So that was very, very special. We may not get a chance to see each other in person again, but thanks to social media, we get a chance. Some of us get a chance to to be in touch with each other. If y'all saw a post I did with this wooden sculpture of this plant, that was done by another shipmate, Calvin Macon. He was with us, but he was in a different division. And Calvin and I, we were very, very tight. He even came home and visited with me one time, um, with my family and stuff. So that's how tight we were. Amazing artist, sculpturer. Dang, that brother bad. I remember when we first started together doing sculpture and stuff like that, woodcrafting. But where he's at with it now, I don't do it anymore. But where he's at with it now, I wouldn't even try. That brother just bad. So shout out to all my shipmates, man, from the USS Nimitz. I met another guy who served with Latin, Al. I forget what his last name was. A real cool guy. Man, we had a really really nice time. We had a really nice time, and like I told Jack, I said, man, if I never get to see you again, man, I'm gonna cherish this one right here. So I had to do this because we just did this past weekend, uh Friday. We did it Friday, and that was just really really special. So once again, shout out to my shipmates, USS Nimitz, and y'all continue to travel easy and keep on living, stay healthy, stay wise, stay strong. And I'm gonna touch out now Florida's own Barry S. McLeod. Y'all know I'm making a movie called She the Player. It's a comedy movie. If I can stay on course, it would excuse me, it will be released um, hopefully the end of October, no later than September, if I can stay on course like I am right now. We had a really, really good shoot Saturday, and got another one coming up in about another week or so. And then we got 3 more shoots after that, and then we're gonna wrap. And it's just gonna be a very, very fun. I'm gonna tell y'all what, believe me when I tell you, this is gonna be a really, really funny movie. If there's ever any work that I have done that really will have the potential to be a really big film, meaning that people everywhere that will watch it and laugh so much that they will just be naturally and automatically telling other people about it, and word of mouth is going to spread it, and it's going to go global. It's going to be my movie Sheeta Player. I do have a fundraiser, a GoFundMe account, because we're raising money to produce the movie, and we're a little better than halfway there, but we still could use some help. And my appeal is to anybody that would not mind supporting me in producing this movie. Go to GoFundMe.com, put my name in the search bar, and you'll see Sheeta Player come up. You can donate anonymously if you like, and you can donate in any amount. We'll be grateful for it. We will all be grateful for it. Thank you again, Florida's own Barry S. McLeod, touching out. Truly the right kind of different. Y'all have a great week. See you next week.